12, 11, 10.
Are we doing big stream?
Yep.
Hey folks, Ryan here alongside, as you can see on your screen, with a whole bunch of the CactusCon crew. This is our closing ceremonies. We are now concluding CactusCon 9. I am just absolutely ecstatic about how well things went this weekend. Couldn't have asked for a better show. The transition from in-person to virtual is, it's hard to put it into words. It is a completely different animal. So we have some absolutely wonderful people on our staff. We have some great people on the team, and everyone just helped out, and it ended up just being freaking awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and share out a little slide deck. Normally for our closings, we don't do an official slide deck. It's just more we kind of speak to it. But I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I didn't even have a slide deck up until, I don't know, what was it, half an hour ago, and our wizard Red Wedge X once again was like, here you go, and just gave me one. So let's get to it. All right, fellas, let me know, are we sharing out the screen? Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. That's a wrap. So we have a free Sands course to give away. I'm going to go ahead and initiate that right now. So if you want to get in on the Sands course giveaway, what you want to do is you want to go into the announcements room, and you want to, or the giveaway room, excuse me, and you want to just throw a little thumbs up if you've been following along with the conference. You know what to do. Boom. And there it is. So we will choose a winner at the end of these closing ceremonies. I have no idea how long they're going to take. We'll find out. So we had a couple mishaps along the way, and I just wanted to kind of point them out for anyone thinking of running a virtual conference, or just to show that, hey, it may have looked like everything worked out absolutely flawlessly, but of course you're going to have little, flubs here and there. Our stream went mostly well, and I was very excited to see that. We had a dip, and I believe it was either our first or our second Q&A session, our live session. The stream just kind of went away for like a minute or maybe two. It wasn't that long, and it just came right back. And we're like, okay, cool. We had some random giveaway bot issues. Our Red Wedge put in so much time and effort to our Discord bots. That was the one bot that was actually functioning and just behaving the entire time. And then it just decided on day 2, like, I'm bored. I wanted to give us, a little bit of a headache, if you will. But got it back working. Everything's working fine now. Our cloud vendor stole our GPU. Yeah, our streaming box was working just fine. And then all of a sudden, the GPU decided to die. And when we tried to migrate over to a different box, a GPU was not available. So it just we've been rendering on software the entire time, but it's been working just fine. So no biggie there. And Alex, I'm going to put you on the spot, Red Wedge, if you want to talk about the Reg bot issues. I don't want to steal your thunder. I think it's just such a fun thing to discuss.
Yeah, we had, when we opened the con server the night before, kind of like a soft opening, the registration bot just completely crashed. Didn't work at all. And people were just streaming in. I had no way to check into the con. So for a good hour and a half, I was running the entire con from my laptop on Wi-Fi on my desk. And shockingly, it completely held up. But it was a little nerve-wracking watching everyone come in with absolutely no way. I literally had sleepless nights about this registration bot.
At one point, he held up his laptop, and you can hear the fans just, going crazy. It was a good time, but it worked out, and we're all the better for it. So I'd like to do a quick meet the staff thing once again. We did one in the opening, and by the way, we do have a brochure that is available, so folks can go check out that brochure. I'm going to just navigate over to it myself, so you can ignore my typing for a second here. Our artists, we have two primary artists this year. We had both Nick and we had Travis, who helped us out. We'll have general thanks later, but I'm just jumping the gun now. And Nick was able to put together this great brochure for us. So I'm going to pull it up real quick right about now and pop it on the screen. And I'd like everyone who wants to kind of follow along, if you will, to go check it out. So it's just CC9 CactusCon.com/CC9 brochure, or just /brochure will also bring it up. So in the digital event brochure, we have some information about the people behind the scenes. So, if for anyone following along this week, obviously you saw a whole lot of me. You saw a whole lot of Ryan because I was in all of the Q&As. And oh, golly, did I love doing that. But this conference isn't just about 1 or 2 or 3 people. It's about an entire team. So we have a board, actually. And on the board, we have Skylar, Jessica, or Jess. And then we have Kazushi, or Andrew, who just gave a talk 2 talks ago. So just a shout out to them for all the things that they do. If any of them want to unmute and start rambling away, I'm all for it. But I know a lot of times the team just is like, you be the mouth runner. So Skylar does a absolutely great job with the hardware badge stuff, facilitating that and working with the folks who do those in previous years. He also helps out a whole lot with general organization for all of our art stuff, and just did a great job this year. The store we had on Threadless, I love it. I got all kinds of stuff from the store. We'll be talking about the store shortly here during the closing, and I'll show off some of the cool things we have there. And it was all made possible by our 2 artists and Skylar. And Jess, we just had our last talk. I was like, oh, I learned about CactusCon because of Jess. I'm pretty sure I did too. I think I had a conversation with her actually in San Francisco at one point, and I was, not at home and realized that there's a con at home. I was like, what? So Jess has been great. She's this year big time helping with all the speakers and wrangling the speakers and facilitating and overall managing the call for papers process. So we really appreciate that. She also has helped out a lot with social media type of stuff in the past and this year. So just very, very grateful to have her on the board. And then, of course, we have Andrew, who, if anyone was in the Q&A, you saw that, Andrew was on the board on board, if you will, since day one. I mean, this was part of his original idea to make this all happen. So, a huge thank you to them. Let me take a look here. How many of them are on camera right now? All 3 of them? Of course, he didn't turn his video on. Skylar's hiding from us. That's all right. So anyways, thank you all very much. We also have other people who are not officially on the board, if you will. You've got Mr. Runs His Mouth a Lot. That'd be me over here. And then you've got Mike. Mike was, excuse me, I have fond memories of the closings for CactusCon. And for some reason, this one event loops in my head all the time. And it's Mike sitting on stage while Andrew was talking, and just kind of kicking his feet around and looking at the audience. And I don't know why I always flash back to that. But Mike has been extremely, extremely helpful. He and his brother, Matt, who's just to the right over here, have been pivotal for day of operations, primarily like really big for day of, making sure that speakers are going to the right places, making sure the projectors are in the right places, making sure the rooms are set up as they're supposed to be, all of that. The transition to a virtual space was very different. For us, our home this year, our venue, was Discord. So the 2 of them helped a whole lot with Discord, setting up all the rooms, making sure all the permissions were correct. On the day of today and yesterday, they went right back to their old roles, really, and just did a great job of making sure speakers knew where to go and telling me like, hey, stupid, you forgot to do this. I was like, okay, and I got it done. Like, it was just great. Matt, thank you very much. We also have volunteer coordination under their umbrella. We had how many total volunteers? 37, almost 40-ish volunteers this year.
Yeah, we had 37, and I think only like 35 came or like actually showed up. But we had I think we had over 80 people who submitted a form to be a volunteer. But obviously, we didn't need quite that many for the virtual event. But appreciate everybody who offers their time to us.
Yes. Well, Matt, thank you very much for helping run that. I saw Matt's, I'm the spreadsheet king. So I had a spreadsheet of death with, 20 something tabs for everyone's tasks, but he had his own spreadsheet just for organization of the various crews and committees that would be, make up the volunteer staff and appointing team leads. And I saw how that was operating. I was like, oh, he's been doing this a while. Like, okay, very cool. Very cool. That was awesome to see. And then I love this picture of him. We over here. We've got Alex, who also goes by Red Wedge X. we're going to call him the overall potential master of this online event, not just the Discord master, because Alex did so much for us, and this is his first year specifically on the staff. Last year, and I believe the year before, right? He was a volunteer. And I actually was running my mouth as usual in some Slack group, or I don't know, somewhere. I think it was actually in one of the previous CactusCon Slacks. And I was asking, like, who knows a good Discord developer? Because we're going to need one for, the conference that we just did. And Alex was the first person to respond to me. And we set up a meeting. And within 10 minutes, maybe, I was like, holy crap, this is our guy. And as everyone could see with the registration bot, the giveaway bot, our Hacktar, our moderation bot, all the above, it was absolutely the right way to go. So thank you, Alex. I can't thank you enough for how awesome this event was because of your work. And then we've got Nick. Nick has been an artist for us for I don't know how many years now, quite a few actually. At first was a lot of time donation involved over the years too, just helping us out, getting stuff done. At the in-person at the former CactusCon's events, we've had art all over the place, like literally all over the place. On the windows and vinyl stickers and huge things. Like 10, 20 feet by something, whatever. And he's organized a whole lot of that. So just thank you very much. Hopefully you see this at some point. We really appreciate all the stuff that you've done for us over the years and this year, of course. And heck, we're looking at a digital brochure that you made. So thank you very much, Nick. It is much appreciated. All right, and I'm going to actually transition on back to this little guy right here and give some additional thanks to folks who helped make the event what it was. Thank you. Thank you to our two keynote speakers, Eva Galperin and April Wright. Both of your keynotes were freaking awesome. I believe I personally saw the most interactivity and interaction throughout the entire conference during both of your keynotes. It was just amazing. On Eva's side, we've been trying to get the EFF involved with CactusCon for quite a while. And then as we reached out to Eva, it just became so freaking easy. She was like, yeah, I'll do that. I was like, oh, yay, awesome. So thank you very much for your talk, and also for the EFF, by the way, for being involved with us and being available for people to go to. For April, I don't know how many times I've snuck my way into like a cool kids group, and she's either standing right there or she's already in the Slack, and I've just watching her work for so long now, and having her keynote is it's extremely applicable, and I love it. If anyone didn't see either of those keynotes, please make sure you go back and check those suckers out. All of our talks and all of our Q&As and this talk now, what we're doing now, the closing, it's all on or going to be on YouTube. And you can find the link at just simply cactuscon.com/YouTube. I'm going to set that link up. I actually didn't set it up. So as soon as someone else starts talking, I'll make it live. Otherwise, for right now, just go to YouTube and type in CactusCon. You'll find our account. Speakers. Thank you, speakers. You wouldn't have much of a con without speakers, right? So we had a whole bunch of submissions to our CFP that Jess helped run, as she's done for years. I think we had over 45, right? I think. And we made the decision to go with one track. We wanted to just have one track, and we didn't want to release all the videos at once and have people just kind of randomly go to the talks. We rather chose to go with hey, we're going to do a premiere mode, right? They were all pre-recorded, but we want it to feel like it's actually on schedule and do live Q&As after. So out of all those talks, we whittled it down to just 14. And personally, I think it worked out really well. I loved all of our talks. Extremely happy that all the speakers were able to be here with us. Also for Q&A, thank you, speakers. There's no con without speakers. It defeats the entire purpose without speakers. Also, the folks who ran our workshops, we had 4 different workshops. We understand, by the way, we are fully cognizant of the fact that not enough people felt they got into the workshops. On one hand, at CactusCon's in person or any conference, really, workshops are often the most limited thing. For me, I totally feel all of the people who are like, oh, I didn't get in the workshop. Like, that sucks. I'm the same damn way. When I go to a conference, I typically spend the whole damn time either talking to people in the hallways or in workshops. So one of the things we're going to try to work on for next year, if we have however much of an element of a virtual conference is dealing with that and trying to make them as big as possible while keeping the folks running them comfortable. But the workshops went really, really well. So thank you so much to the folks who ran your workshops for us. That was awesome. And all of the talks are in the digital brochure, by the way. So let me just pop back over that little sucker. So if we go over to the digital brochure, I'm just going to skip past those. We've got, boom, boom, boom. Here are our keynotes. And then we've got our workshops. So thank you to Sam Bone and Elizabeth Biddlecombe. I'll stop at the last name. Sam and Elizabeth. I've known Sam for I don't know how many years now. Hell, I profess my love for him every chance I get. I have a video on YouTube of me talking about how great his website is. Sam, I love you. We all love you. Thank you so much for being a part of CactusCon. Thank you to Christy for the analysis 101 and 102 for the incident responder. I think it's critical that we have these types of workshops, more and more of them at conferences or at other venues just like this. We're even throwing around ideas of doing potentially, we're not committing to anything, but potentially looking at, between or at some point, a conference that's sole focus is essentially workshops because of how important they are. And this type of introductory, like, look, you're just going to jump into it. You're going to get your feet wet. You're going to do it hands-on. That is exactly what we all want. Gavin, thank you very much for your machine learning workshop. That was a really cool one. I personally am huge on machine learning and the general AI. That's what I do. Work for a company, and it's just great to have that. And your talk, of course, too. And then George, purple teaming is I just from the first time at last company that we did, last job, we did a purple team versus just a red team. It was like the heavens, the clouds parted and the heavens sang down. It was like this is the way. Right? This is the way to do this. This is how we do this. So providing that workshop for our attendees, freaking awesome. Thank you so much. All right. I'm not going to have time to go through all the talks, but I'm just going to say that we do have all the talks listed. So I'll just keep paging down randomly through here. They are in the digital brochure. So please check those out and reach out to any speakers, ask them questions, bug them constantly, let them know that they are loved. Our partners, all of our sponsors, a conference would be purposeless without speakers. It would not be possible without sponsors. Not having any type of money to do anything, that's not going to work very well. CactusCon we are officially a 501c3 organization. So we're not in this for profit. We're in this for the community. And that's why, for example, we have a Discord community server. It's called CactusCon Community. Facilitating all that does require money, essentially, right? So we're not trying to line our pockets, but we need money coming in. This year, our partners, Bishop Fox, BlackBerry, Early Warning, and PayPal. Thank you so much for being a partner at that tier and at that level. It's a decent amount of money to provide to a group like ours for getting into a conference that really there haven't been that many for you to judge what you're going to get for your money, right? What you're going to get for that. As Andrew has said in the past, in fact, he said it so well in our opening. I don't know if he wants to unmute and say it himself, but our partners are not just sponsors. They are literally partners. They go above and beyond. They do things and they apply themselves. Oh, Andrew, you're unmuted. Go.
Yeah. No, our partner tier actually came about because we had so many different sponsors or step up and actually contribute so much more beyond this idea of just giving us money, right? So Early Warning spent a lot of time in the early days helping us with registration, as an example. They helped run the registration booth with Jessica. And then we've had Bishop Fox involved from the beginning, even when it was Stack and Lou. And they've helped us with the CTFs and several of the art pieces and some of the marketing such. So we've done we created this because of their involvement in the conference and our ability to continue to up level and make this what ultimately we want is something that benefits the whole community, including the companies and the people who are looking for work here in town. So it's been phenomenal to see this many people step up. PayPal more recently, and then BlackBerry. This is the first year they've joined at this level, but obviously they gave us time with you. So so there's that.
Yes. Very cool. Thank you, Andrew. Our sponsors, we had one sponsor tier, and yes, it was my personal decision to have 3 tiers this year and to name the middle tier sponsor. Awesome. Good job, Ryan. That was more than confusing. That's okay. So Axon, thank you very much for being a return sponsor of CactusCon. I did miss not hearing the tasers constantly going off like we have in Meat Space, where we like and people go, "Whoa," getting excited by your tasers. So thank you very much. And by the way, folks, don't forget our digital swag bag, which does include a 15% discount code for Axon. The swag bag is at cactuscon.com/CC9 swag. And that's a zip file. And there's a bunch of PDFs in there. One of theirs is that little guy right there. And then we have our supporters, New Genesis Solutions, starting with you, Andy. Hi, I like to say your name. We've been buddies for a while now, and I reached out, and he's only started his company, but maybe 2 years officially, right? And I was like, "You want to sponsor? You want to give us money? Do you have money to give yet? You're a pretty new company. How's it going?" Well, he's doing pretty darn well, so he was able to throw a sponsorship our way, and we really appreciate you, man. And then the Digital Shadows crew, I'm just huge on what Digital Shadows, their realm they deal with. Really big into threat intel and really big into groups that dedicate themselves to that. So having one of them on board, thank you. Heck yeah. Hack the Box. Hack the Box originally started as an in-kind sponsor, and I guess I should call him Pwn EIP as opposed to his real name. I don't know if he wants me to say his real name. The fellow who ran our CTF actually brought in Hack the Box, and when he contacted me, said, "Hey, do you need a CTF?" And we actually had one previously lined up, and it turns out it just wasn't going to work out. And I had just found out basically the day before. So Pwn reaches out to me and is like, do you need a CTF? And I was like, yeah, we do. We really do need a CTF. And then he also was like, "Oh, I can get a bunch of giveaways. Is that cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's perfectly fine." So Hack the Box gave away a whole bunch of great stuff, and I will actually let their crew discuss that when we get to that slide. But they also went forward and was like, "Oh, you want some money too? We'll be a supporter too, if that's cool." And I said, "Yeah, that's cool." So thank you very much to them. Really appreciate that. Our in-kind sponsors provided some really cool freaking giveaways. We have Sands, and by the way, they originally came in, and the offer to be an in-kind sponsor was a free Sands course. Which, by the way, that's a really good giveaway. I don't want to throw out dollar amounts, but if you go look at the Sands website and see what does it cost to register for the class we're giving away free shortly at the toward the end of this closing right now, that was awesome. And then randomly today, they pinged me and said, "Hey, is it okay if we give away 4 months of continuous net wars?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is." So that was awesome to have that giveaway too. Thank you. Offensive security. I mean, it's really hard to discuss training of any sort without mentioning SANS or offensive security. They're two of the best at what they do. And offensive security was also brought in by Pwn EIP. He was just randomly asking me, you want some OSCP vouchers to give away? Is that cool?" And I was like, "Please, yes, that's fantastic." I wouldn't have even thought to ask them to give those away. So that was really, really cool of them to jump in. Thank you, folks. No Starch Press. I have some of your books right here. I got your shipment today. Thank you for sending out the physical books. We gave out, 4 physical books? We gave out 8, actually 6 so far. We have 2 more, which we're going to give out at the after party tonight. But we had 6 different $20 vouchers, and I almost forgot, there's a 30% coupon code, Cactus30. The word cactus, the number 30, squish them together. And that is a coupon code for 30% off anywhere on the No Starch Press website. They also have a PDF in the virtual swag bag that contains the code that I just mentioned. So No Starch, thank you so much. There were so many opportunities throughout the conference to bring you up and to talk about you, and just really appreciate it. I think many of us have our shelves lined with your stuff. Let's talk about registration, right? We really didn't know what was in store in terms of numbers, in terms of actual attendance, which is technically the very next slide. What we ended up with is far more than I personally could have ever expected. So we have registration counts. We used Eventbrite this year. A little shout out to Eventbrite. We use their system and have for years now. Jess has been running that for us. Thank you for that again, by the way. And general admission wise, we had 3,162, which is pretty damn cool. I don't believe we actually had that number of people show up to the conference. And I know that because it's on the next slide. But it's still really cool to see such a big number of people who at some point showed, interest to come over and hang out with us. Community sponsors was ridiculous this year. We had 67 community sponsors. A community sponsor, by the way, is simply just a donation. Look, it's even listed. Literally, I just say donation format. It's simply people who just wanted to give to the conference. We're not talking about our corporate sponsors that we have listed here on the left-hand side of the screen. We're talking about individual people who just decided to, quote unquote, open their wallet, their digital wallets, and say, here you go. I like what you do. I want to help out. 67 of them, and we received over $5,700. So over $5,700 from the community. And that is freaking awesome. So extremely excited to have that money. Thank you. Thank you for the money. By the way, if anyone has been wondering, what is CactusCon doing with the money that they received, right? How much did you make and how much did you spend? I'll be going over that, but for the most part, it was so that we could fill our money gun and so that we could thank you. We're all going to go celebrate later on. That's where all the sponsor money went. Whee! And yeah. Anywho, my kid had a money gun. We had to incorporate it. If you're wondering, those were all real hundreds. We had a solar.
Do you want to know what the best part is? The best
What?
part is no one can see you to have done that because of the way Discord scrolled down. You're not even on screen.
Oh, that's horrible.
You didn't click.
But we all just
No.
heard you shoot a money gun. I assume that was a money gun.
It rained, everyone.
Sounded
Maybe I'll
like
have to do it.
I fixed it. Do it again. Now they can see you.
It was even full of real hundreds. We had a solar installation and they give you some cash back, which of course just goes right to our bills. It's not like it's funny money, but for right now it was, but no one saw it. Damn it. You should have told me. Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. Oh,
You'll have to reload it and do it for the
CactusCon.
opening ceremonies at CactusCon 10.
damn right. CactusCon 9 CTF. This registration number was zany. 1,576 registrations for the CTF. The CTF that, by the way, just came to us. Pone, who, by the way, works for Bishop Fox, one of our partners, a good example of why they've been a partner, right, for so many years. Just like, hey, let me help drive some people to your con, and just bloop, number blew up. Awesome. And we had a bunch of folks. We had 33 different contacts, or I should say points of contact from our various sponsors. 38 official volunteer registrations, 23 overall presenter check-ins, including keynotes and workshops and such. And then our workshops were pretty much full up the entire time. So that was awesome. In fact, Sam's workshop, Violent Python, ended up just busting at the seams. And he said, you know what? I'm going to Twitch. And he just live streamed it. It was like, whatever. And whoever wants to come can just show up. I was like, that's such a Sam thing to do. That was great. I love it. Let's talk about Discord. We can't talk about Discord without, again, talking about this fella, Alex Red Wedge X. He put in so much work for this bot dev, setting permissions, all the things. Now, Mike and Matt both helped out with Discord too, but Alex put together all of our bots. All kinds of work went into that love. 1,461 attendees. Now, that was different from the 1,814 who entered the server. So 1,814 showed up, if you will, but there was a registration bot that required your Eventbrite information in order to get into the server. So somehow 350 or so just never got past that. I don't know if they just showed up and gave up, whatever. We had a great help ticket system, so it's not like they just couldn't do it. I guess they just gave up. But almost 1,500 people. And Andrew, if I'm correct here, our check-in for real people showing up to CactusCon 9 in December of 2019 was right around that same number. Was it not just shy of 1,500 people?
Yeah, I think we have basically met the exact amount that we did hit last year. So we're right on par with what we did the last time we hosted this event, which is really exciting. And the 1,800 folks as sort of entering and registering to get into the conference, larger than any event we've held so far. So,
right, really, really cool to see that. We had 1,355 messages sent in Discord.
13,000.
That says 13,000.
Excuse me, I'll learn to read. 13,555. That is a lot of communicating and communication going on our server. We had 79 help tickets. One of the things that we had was a bot that facilitated help tickets. So the registration team, the technical team, and the moderation team had a ticket also? Yeah. All three of those people were able to open tickets, and I watched as the tickets popped open because I was included in those group as being a core staff member role in Discord, and our volunteers just jumped right on them. It was awesome. We also had someone, I don't want to divulge too much about the specific details, but we had a CactusCon 9 attendee reach out via one of those help tickets and tell us something that was potentially very, very important and give us a heads up about something. And we ended up providing that person, by the way, it was Blitz. Thanks, Blitz. We're sending a free t-shirt for that, reaching out and letting us know and not just, assuming that we knew about it or whatever. So I love the help ticket system. We had 23 different giveaways. 23 different giveaways. So I'm just going to read out a list of some of the items that we gave away during the conference. I'm going to scroll to the top of my spreadsheet here. We gave away 2 CactusCon 9 towels, a total soon of 8 no-starch pressed $20 vouchers, another towel. We gave away 8 copies of Ted Demopolis's InfoSec Rockstar, the physical signed book. Thank you, Ted, by the way, if you do get around to watching this. That was really, really cool that you sent that out. By the way, Sans being an in-kind sponsor, and George, who did a talk and a workshop, is an instructor for Sans. I'm also an instructor for Sans. And it was really, really cool being able to have Ted, another Sans instructor, reach out and say, hey, I'll give you stuff for giveaway, and then sign the books and ship them out. Freaking cool. We also had 2 different textbooks from Chapin Bryce. That is a coworker of mine at BlackBerry Security Services Incident Response. We both worked together, and he gave out 2 copies of his digital book. We had a Bishop Fox Moleskin notebook. We gave out 5 total copies of the Complete Boot Rogue Strategy Guide. That's Eric's book. Digital Shadows. Oh, I almost forgot. How dare I? Gave out a $50 Amazon gift card. Freaking cool. And there was even more than that, and I'm just going to digress. I got most of the big items there. So really cool to see all those giveaways. And we have 1 more giveaway to do today and 2 more tonight. 7 sample tickets were sent to our bot. When you go into the server for the first time, when you enter, you receive a note saying, I need your Eventbrite information. Here's exactly where it is and what it looks like. Well, we're someone to actually take that exact example and try to feed that to the bot. In other words, trying to use the example as the entry data. We logged that, and we had 7 of those that occurred. And we just thought that was a cute little number to provide, along with the fact that we had 6 different links that were sent to the bot. So people trying to get the bot to access links and just be silly, apparently, hopefully not too malicious.
4 of them were
Dev-wise.
Rickrolls.
How many?
4 of them were Rickrolls.
Nice. 4 of 6 were Rickrolls. That's fantastic. As far as development went on the bot stuff, we had 8 different VMs in use throughout the conference, 4 distinctive bot applications, 1 web app, and 1 Lambda function, which gives you a heads up on what platform we use. And specifically 2,656 lines of Python, which were written by Alex in order to facilitate the whole damn conference on Discord. So I think this worked really, really well. We've also decided, well, I don't know if we did or I just did. we would like to use and have an online presence at the next CactusCon, even if we're not, quote unquote, a digital or virtual conference. And please don't forget, we have a community server. It's where our after party tonight is going to be from 8 p.m. Mountain Time, UTC -7, as we've been using the whole conference. 8 p.m. is our after party. It's in our community server. And just in general, it's going to be a year-round place where we want people to congregate and hang out. That's at cactuscon.com/Discord. and you'll receive an invite if for whatever reason you're not there yet. All right, so I'd like to give out a special thanks, and people aren't aware that I'm doing this. Is it possible to pop back to me as opposed to my screen?
Yeah. You
Sure
click
is.
on the,
I got it.
Okay.
You're good.
We good?
Yep.
All right. It was B-Sides Las Vegas 2016. I was surprised mid-talk. Genevieve, who is an absolute badass, used to run B-Sides Las Vegas. And she surprised me during my talk. In fact, it was so abrupt, I thought my talk was getting shut down because the woman who runs the entire show was like, "Excuse me, Ryan." And I was like, "Oh, shit." Like, what did I do? And she presented me with something, and it has been a huge motivating factor, essentially, in a lot of what I do as far as networking. The minor details that people pay and the appreciation and thanks, it's just been a very big thing for me. So I invited her to come check this out. I hope she's watching now, and if you are, I never forgot that moment. And so we put together, my wife, by the way, had this idea. She said, "Isn't that thing? I don't want to give it away just yet. Don't you absolutely love that?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, do you want to do that?" And I was like, "I do." So I didn't tell the crew about this yet, but we are giving away, and I don't even want to get my fingerprints on it, a CactusCon 9 MVP chalice. So I lied. I'll get my fingerprints on it. This chalice was created. My wife asked me if I wanted to do this for someone, and I nearly died. Thing is, that was 3 days ago. So I was like, there's no way that we're going to be able to get this engraved. And we did. So I'd like to present the MVP award to Mr. Red Wedge X, to Alex.
Woo! Congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you,
That's
Alex.
really cool.
We absolutely could not have done this without all the hard work that you put in, and we fucking are really excited. I mean, we're really, I lost my words there. Oh, we're really, really happy that you were on the team. So thanks, man.
And next year in real
All right.
life, we're all getting trashed from that cup.
Damn right. Oh, I have mine. I have mine from Genevieve. Oh, around here. I have my golden chalice that I received from B-Side. So you and I got to just tink, tink, tink all night long. Heck yeah. Okay, we are going to now move over to discuss the CTF. So there's my slide. I have no slide. In fact, you probably took away from me, which is fine.
Yeah,
So
I don't see
in
your
that
stream
case-
anymore. So
Yeah, that's good. I actually killed it. I forgot. So
All right, cool.
if we could have our CTF folks throw video and unmute. Can we get them on? I see you.
All right.
Go for it.
Do you see my slide?
Yep, you're up.
Awesome. All right, huge shout out. We just want to say thanks to CactusCon for letting us come out here. I know a lot of work with Barry, good friend of his. Appreciate kind of all the networking connections getting out here. Big thanks to Hack the Box and Offensive Security. Hack the Box was able to give us some Academy cubes, some annual VIP subscriptions, some Pro Labs. OSCP gave us, Offensive Security gave us some OSCP vouchers. So huge shout out to them. Thanks a lot. If you look at the top scores that we have here, Codename Tim and Pionista both tied for first place at 1,906 points. They're just kind of slugging it out the entire time. So it was really great to kind of watch them go. Spitfire, Jayog, and OX Doge. Huge competition, kind of set the pace, early on. So huge shout out to them. We had 18 prizes total that we're able to kind of give away to a lot of the random folks out there. So I think, it's great opportunity for everyone to kind of get involved. We had a total of 635 players actually play and submit flags. There's 13,000 flag submissions. So just a lot of activity on the board, a lot of people going back and forth. And then a big shout out to the rest of the CTF team. Both Pony IP, Waldo, Kyle, Rayhan, System Dumb, Juicy K, Bob Dole, all the hard work kind of behind the scenes, doing the QA, hosting everything. So big shout out. Thanks again for letting us come out. And we really enjoyed it. Had a blast. Hanging out in the Discord, there's a lot of community, a lot of the players kind of helping each other, a lot of fun kind of going back and forth, a lot of memes getting posted. So we had a blast. I'd love to do it again next year.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for helping out also. Like I said, I just randomly received it, not randomly, but I received notification from the previous group. They were like, hey, you know what? We're not going to be able to make it. We were just about to announce it. And I was like, no, damn it. And we didn't think it was anywhere near enough time to get something together. And all of a sudden, here comes your guy. Like, do you need to see? I'm like, yeah, I really do. Like, that's awesome, dude. So yeah.
Glad we can come through for you.
Heck yeah. Cool. All right. The next thing I want to do is actually transition. Do we have Skylar on audio to discuss the CactusCon Kids CTF?
Skylar.
He's so pissed right now. He's like, damn it, Ryan.
He's running back to his computer.
All right. That's cool. I can go over it. And if you can hear me, sir, just interrupt me. I'm going to go ahead and switch back on my screen sharing. So if we could switch back to that.
Yep,
I've got it
soon as you stream.
going now.
You're up.
Okay. So some folks may not be aware of the fact that CactusCon for many or a couple of years now. In fact, Andrew, can you throw out a number of years for CactusCon Kids that it's been a thing? Oops.
2 years. I think we did it for 2 years, and this is the third year we have kid stuff.
Okay, cool. So for 2 years, CactusCon had a sub event, if you will, a really wholly separate event entitled CactusCon Kids that had I believe, and you can correct me, Andrew, if you need to, over 250 something odd kids showed up last year or 2019.
I think that sounds
CactusCon
about right.
Kids-
We restricted it to 100 people, I think, the first year, and we got that, and then we ran it the second year at like 250, and I think that sounds about right.
Cool. CactusCon Kids obviously caters to the kiddos, right? And the idea was to provide, like, for example, here's the old agenda and doors closed. But it caters to the kiddos, and the idea is just to give them a place to learn, grow, and hack. And you can see here they're being shown some lock picking. CactusCon Kids itself is amazing. I was floored. Last year they had, I don't remember how many, 5, 6 different stations, lock picking and all kinds of soldering station, all kinds of fun stuff. And then the culmination of going through those stations was going into an escape room where you had to then implement the newly learned skills in order to get the hell out of the room. I thought it was phenomenal. Kevin helped out with that, and he runs CactusCon. I should give him a little shout out, by the way. Hi. This year, we were not able to incorporate overall CactusCon Kids. A couple of big red flags. One of them, generally Discord, you simply are not allowed to, officially. And you're like, my kids are on Discord. You're not allowed to be on Discord if you're under 13 years old. It's part of their end user license agreement. So there's certain things like that. We're like, well, so we are, however, happy to announce, and it is in our digital brochure, that CTF for Kids, sponsored by CactusCon Kids, is going to be kicking off the following weekend from this weekend. So a week from now. You can go find it now at ctf.cactusconkids.com. There are going to be a bunch of challenges for the kiddos to go through, and I think it could be really, really cool for any folks out there, whether it's your own children or whether it's friends and families or your neighbors. Just go knock on your neighbor's door and talk to their kid. I'm sorry, that's a horrible joke. Hey, you want to do a challenge? The link itself in the PDF. Sorry, that was inappropriate. I'm sorry. Don't do that. Don't knock on your neighbor's doors and talk to their kids. I'm gonna hear about that later. So the link itself is actually broken. If you click on the link here, you'll see that it actually throws in some extra values. So that's kind of challenge number 1, is to get to the link. But visually, the link is actually correct.
Totally
So
on purpose.
Go ahead and check out. What's that?
So that was totally on purpose.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. So go check that out. Hopefully folks can find that very useful and get some kiddos involved. I think that would be really, really cool. So we're just about done here. We've got financial details next year, and then our giveaway, and then we're pretty much done. So I do want to go over some financial details with folks. and I am actually going to literally just make the slide while we sit here and look at it, because you know what? I didn't get it done in time. I wasn't going
Ryan.
to do an yes.
Don't forget about our sponsor videos.
Oh, let's run them now. Are we able to switch over to OBS and rock them?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, let me go over as soon as we hit the finances, because I have one more thanks for them anyway. So thank you. All right, now, again, we're a nonprofit organization, and our goal is to be here for the community, and our goal is to be able to provide the service, really, of CactusCon. None of us are paid, for example. If I say anything along the lines of the profit, I don't actually mean profit, because everything goes right back into the product, right? So we have some numbers for you. We believe in, and because we're a 501c3, we don't just believe in, but we have to adhere to, full transparency. So this year, from general sponsorship, corporate sponsorship, if you will, we brought in $26,000. We also brought in 5.7, technically 5727, from community sponsors. And remember, that's just people just giving us 100, 250, bucks themselves. 67 of those people provided that. Our store, the CactusCon 9 store, brought in $1,190, which is pretty darn cool. There's not a steep profit on that. It's not a huge profit per item. So that just goes to show how many things were purchased, and that's awesome.
Okay. Door's still up, by the way.
That's really cool. Yes, the store is still up, and I actually have a thing to go over. I forgot to talk about the store. That's next. I lied. Store. All right. Normally we do our closings. We just walk up to the podium and start talking. So I tried to do a PowerPoint, and I almost had it finished. Almost. So money-wise, we had expenses, of course, operating expenses. One of our expenses was $1,100 for taxes and accounting. So we have to pay for our taxes to be done, essentially, and accounting. And we had $4K that was already paid toward the venue. Now, you might be wondering, like, what venue? We ran on Discord, and it was technically free. Discord itself was free. So what are you talking about? Well, we have a physical venue that we were in a 3-year contract with, and they were actually really cool. And I'll even say it's the Mesa Community Center. It's where we had our last conference. It was a 3-year contract, and we were unable to meet this year because we would not all want to hang out right now and exchange COVID together in meet space, if you will. So we had money down, and they were cool enough to not make it weird, and basically just allowed us to just push that money to next year. So that was already in there. The 4K was already in there, and there's a couple other bills that are due coming up for our next venue payment, if you will. So on top of that, we also had, okay, cool. Discord was not very expensive at all. Basically free. However, the bots that ran on Discord are in a cloud-based provider. I'll just call it cloud for right now. And that cloud-based provider actually, and I'm going to give a huge hint as to who it is right now, they provide an initial upfront $300 credit when you sign up. So we signed up, and out of that $300 credit, Alex, I believe you said we were at $220, $230-ish.
So this morning, yeah.
Yeah, so probably by the end of the conference, we're just going to hit that $300. So essentially, that was also free.
Hey, Ryan, we did pay
really
some
cool.
money towards Discord, though. I don't know if you forgot about that.
I did forget about that. We paid $125 to Discord because I am a filthy liar. Sorry about that. So in Discord land, we actually had to, hold on, what's it called? Nitro boost the server up to what's known as level 2. It took 15 boosts, and normally that would be, well, I forget what it was normally. We had a slight discount because of a previous membership, and it was around 125 bucks to do that. Thank you for reminding me about that. That is not in my notes. I'm a bad person. We had a lot of things that we didn't necessarily have to pay for this year. And that's awesome, because for many years now, folks on the staff, on the board for that matter, have fronted from their own personal bank accounts and well, credit cards more likely than not, a bunch of money for keeping CactusCon going. So this is going to be, I don't know if it's the first officially, Andrew, I don't know if you want to jump in there and correct me, but It's one of the first years where we did not have to actually spend money ourselves. So other expenses that we had, for example, was there was a venue that was from 2019. So a good example of what I'm talking about. Up here, it's like, oh, you got a whole bunch of profit for a virtual conference. Where did it all go? Well, we owed a bunch of money still. All right, so there's that. The venue fees for the upcoming years we're actually not 100% sure on, especially this contract of next year. So I couldn't put a dollar amount on here, but it looks like based on what we brought in, right? And if you ballpark, right, this value, it looks like $34,000. We're probably not going to have to pay anything for, at least for the venue, for 2019. Now, the trick comes into when you then discuss other fees and things that we normally have to pay for an in-person conference. So since I'm just sharing my screen, I will go ahead and literally just cut that and start going again. We saved on the following: art. We did not have to line walls with art because we're all at home. So we didn't have to pay for a ton of art to be created. Now, one of the things I did forget, by the way, to put on here was that our expenses for our artists was $1,200. So that's another expense to throw on there. But we didn't have to pay for all of the art to be printed out. So we avoided that expense this year. Now we have that coming up next year still. Another thing that we didn't necessarily have to pay for this year, I guess it's wrong. We did pay for the video. We just pushed some of that to last year, and then we paid for the previous year that we still had, we owed a decent amount on. But at the very least, we didn't necessarily have to, put the money towards that. At least we have some of that funneled into next year. Another thing is just food and concessions. We didn't have to pay for food or concessions because everyone just went to their own refrigerator, essentially. We didn't have to pay for badges. We did not do hardware badges this year. It was just going to be too much of a pain in the butt, basically. So we didn't have to worry about all the sourcing. Skylar, by the way, typically from the board, typically deals with all that. And we were able to essentially avoid that. This year, we do have something special planned. There is something in the works that certain folks may or may not receive. But as far as we're all concerned right now, there was zero cost to any of that. And whatever I'm talking about doesn't exist. So we didn't have to pre-purchase merchandise. Rather, we had our threadless store, which I'm going to talk about right after this. And because of that store, we were able to allow on-demand purchasing and thus printing for stuff. And because of that, we didn't have to bulk purchase X number of shirts. And keep in mind, even just when you're selling shirts at a conference, you don't buy 500 shirts. You buy X number of 100 in every size and in every model, if you will, right? Men's and women's and children. That adds up. The badges, the pre-purchasing merchandise, and and the art, those are massive expenditures for us. And we were able to avoid that this year. Now, we're not going to be able to avoid it completely next year, but it's something that allowed us. This was essentially a recovery year for us. So while certain organizations were losing money, CactusCon going virtual allowed us to get out of the red and be into a good place. Now, what are these things going to cost for us next year? We really have no idea. We're not sure what to expect. Badges aren't even designed yet, of course, but I mean just parts-wise, like I don't know. But we also were able to avoid spending money on gas to drive places because we all just hung out here together. So easy enough. Overall, we are finally out of the red. We are extremely appreciative of all of the folks who donated to CactusCon, and we will have very specific information once we know exactly what all of our venue fees are going to be for next year. But it looks like we're not necessarily going to be in a place where we have to spend our own money then to even just reserve that. We're good. We're fine. And that's an awesome feeling. So
let me just interrupt for a second. Sorry, I want to clarify. We're not really ever been in the red, right? Cash flow works a little different, right? In the sense that you have earnings from one that go into the other. And one of the things that's happened, to your point before, and I'll sort of simplify it, is that when we make reservations for a physical venue, especially because we wanted to move it to the beginning of each year. We have to get reservations over multiple years, and we have to put deposits into it, which in the past we didn't necessarily pay for, right? We collected money exclusively and solely for the purpose of investing into each year. And the moment that we started planning multiple years out in advance, of course, it meant we needed more money. So there's always this sort of lag where there might have been some deposits that were due from one season to the next, but never been in the red. Let's be clear about that. We've been able to pay all of our bills, and we've been actually, ahead of that game. Because we are doing everything virtual this year, we're actually in a much better position to sort of prepay for some of the things in the past, to your point, which is like, if we want to have t-shirts at the venue, we have to buy them all before, and then we can sell them there. And so there's sort of that lag that happens with it. Because this is all virtual and because you can just order it online, etc., there's no reason for us to have pre-purchased some of those things, because it wouldn't have changed the experience. So the long and short of it is we've done, I think very well with stuff, and we're actually really well positioned to come into 2022 to do what we wanted to do, in person, hopefully, right? As we get closer to that, it just means we get to do more, right? Think, better badges or more investment in other activities. We also look at ways to give this money back out too. And so there's continued discussion of how that money can be leveraged for things like supporting CactusCon kids or other activities and such. So anyways, we're very excited about where that's going, and excited that, this thing worked out as well as we were able to collect this year, as it puts us in a better position for the next year and the year after that. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. And Andrew's like, whoa, what's he saying? The new guy. Sorry about that. Okay. One more thing before we give away that Sands course and make our way over to the community server to just fart around and have a fun night. Our
Is
store
it sponsor videos?
I want to show the store. I want to show the store first. So the sponsor videos are right before the giveaway. That was the design. So the store is still open. There are a lot of really cool things available at the store. Please go check them out. If we could go ahead and cut to just my video. I want to show some things off. We'll show our sponsor videos. Once again, final thanks to the sponsors, and then give away that course and get the hell out of here.
You're good, just on video.
Good. All right, thank you. So our store, we have all kinds of awesome stuff. We got, for example, our premium face masks. I got mine today. Don't panic. You got to love that. For folks who like stickers, especially for laptops and such, we have all kinds of really cool stickers. So we've got a bunch of our different logos that you can get a sticker of that bad boy. Let's see, what else did I have around here? I received, I got my little button, a little CactusCon, a little Hacktar button right there. You can stick that on a backpack or whatever. And I wanted to show this off just because I'm obsessed with it. I think this is the bee's knees, if you will. Check this bad boy out. Oh, guy. They're digital prints that they provide. They'll put them on aluminum or acrylic. This one happens to be the aluminum one, and you can see it's extremely reflective, but it is badass, and it's made really, really well. The mounting over here, awesome. So check out the store. And of course, we have shower curtains. Don't forget that. All right, so our store is going to remain open. Let's go ahead and transition and go ahead and take a look at our sponsor videos. We're about to give away the Sands course and call it a day. But first, we have a word from our sponsors. And while it's being queued up, once again, thank you to all of our sponsors.
Wow, what a fantastic couple of days filled with awesome keynotes and presentations. I'm Pat Flynn, head of recruiting for Bishop Fox, the largest privately held professional services firm focused on offensive security testing. Congratulations to the CactusCon organizers for all of their hard work in putting together a very successful conference. It's been great meeting many of you in our Discord channel, and if you did get a chance to drop in, we'll be hanging out there for a bit longer. Most of all, we look forward to seeing everyone in person in the Valley of the Sun for CactusCon 10.
It's back to us now.
Good.
Let's all go to Cobra.
Wasn't there one more video we had to watch?
Oh yeah, you're right. Hold on. I think I got one little special thing here for you, Ryan.
Oh, okay. Already too drunk.
Meow Mix comes in 2 varieties, original and seafood middles. A medley of mackerel, tuna, and crunchy centers bursting with seafood flavor. Meow Mix tastes so good, cats ask for it by name.
Meow. And while I was trying to record an intro, I decided to go on a meow fit, and someone turned her into that. Good times. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give away our Sands course. Thanks again, Sands, for providing this course for giveaway. We're gonna choose the lucky winner right now. Boom! And the winner is Devius, D-V-I-U-S. Devius, are you here? Are you able to say something? And are you able to pop something into the chill out cabana or something so that we know that you're around?
It might be a minute. I think we have a 20-second delay. I think we're on that kind of
no.
delay.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
That's right.
Nope, they know now. So.
That person appears to be offline.
Ah, they are offline. Oh well. Was hoping
Nope,
they'd be like, yay!
Well, nope, nope, there they are.
Nope, he's back.
Here you go. Yep.
Yeah. What? Wow. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, folks, that's pretty much it. That's the end of CactusCon 9. We took over an hour just closing. I really can't say more thanks to the crew. And of course, Red Wedge, Alex. My wife was able to get this done in less than 3 days. And it's freaking awesome. Shout out to my wife, Melanie. Hi, I like you. So this will be headed your way. We're about an hour away from each other. So I'll probably just ship it out to you, buddy. But
Sounds good.
Everyone, the whole crew, thank you. We have our after party tonight scheduled, whatever. We're all just going to act like fools in the community server. That's what we're doing. So just go over there. 8 p.m. officially is the start time. It's just us hanging out with our video and chat on and acting the fools. So thank you, everyone. That's the end of the show.